Okay. 7.2, 1 through 14. And y'all have heard me say this before. Sometimes I look at this and I wonder what I was thinking. Of course, I think some of these assignment lists came from Will's class, so that might be what I was thinking. I just match his. We're not doing 1 through 4. That's too much trouble. Too much hassle. Let's see. On 5, I did do those proving ones. You can just follow along with those. You'll probably never see them again, especially not in my class. I did do 9 through 14. They make nice problems. They're on a lot of standardized tests. They're on a lot of placement tests, so I did those. What you're supposed to backtrack and remember is that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, which means when they tell you the sine is 4/5, I have given you the opposite side. I've given you the hypotenuse side. I can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the adjacent side, and I now have a triangle, and I know all 3 sides, which means I can do whatever I want to it. I can find the angles, I can mess with it, I can double it, I can have it, whatever. So I took that 4 and 5. On the right-hand side, I did the Pythagorean theorem to find out that the missing piece was 3, and then I can fill in the rest of my trig functions because I have the adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse. That's all you need. I did the same thing on 10. I did the ones they asked me for. I found the cosine, the sine, and the tangent. I filled in the formulas. Now, I did start to notice that when I hit 11, and I do this in class too because you guys are intro students, I pretty much ignore the signs. There are things that you would notice if you did this a lot where you would put this triangle in a certain quadrant, you would tilt it a certain way, you'd have some things that went negative, some things that went positive, you would have to use all these clues to sort that out. We're not doing that. If you get your signs wrong, I'm not going to worry about it. If you can get through the Pythagorean theorem and sorting out the different trig functions, that's enough. This is an intro class. If you're going to be a math major or you're going to be an engineer, you're going to do it again. You'll get better at it because you'll practice. Right now, we are not practicing much. We are learning the tool and moving on. So the same thing on 13. I will tell you though, and this is because I do this for a living, remember, I corrected my signs partway down through the problem because I needed it to match what you guys would have in the back of the book. So if you end up with a positive 1/3 at some point and I have a negative 1/3, don't stress about it. I corrected my signs because I know what's going on, because this is what I do. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you want to sit there and think about it, that's fine too.